Hi, everybody. We're here for another live chat with CSP's Bridget Barnes. And today we're talking about 4th of July. And we're talking about keeping behavior issues at a minimum during the 4th, which can be difficult when you mix in fireworks and explosives and lack of sleep and sunshine and water and all that good stuff. So
exactly.
We have a couple questions that people have sent in and then a couple that we've gathered. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So first question, fireworks are great.
Yes, they are.
To an extent. But they're also great for pre-teaching and giving you opportunities for talking about behaviors, how you want your kids to act before they actually attend the event. So give us some ideas on the types of things that we should make sure that we're pre-teaching to our kids before the 4th of July.
I like what you said. Pre-teaching is the key element here. Talking to kids ahead of time, and not just one time, the day of the event, but several times as we get closer and closer to the 4th of July. You should be talking about kind of sandwiching it between the fun things that we're going to do and the rules for doing those things. So lots of times I'll just talk to kids about the fun things we're going to do, and maybe we'll do a little activity like go around and put on everybody's doorknob or in our area, we're having the 4th of July, come to our area, that kind of thing from this time to this time, so people kind of know when we're setting off those kind of fireworks. We also kind of sit down and talk about safety, the appropriate way to handle fireworks, who should be handling the fireworks, the safe zones and where people should be standing and not standing where fireworks are being set off. Also, I have my older kids, if they were going to be helping with fireworks, go on the internet, has great things that they can find out about fireworks safety, what happens when you don't do the right thing, and then talking about that, maybe at a family meeting or something like that. But definitely kind of bring the spirit of the holiday, but also how to stay safe so we can really enjoy it.
Good. And shoes, I think, are a big thing. People always forget.
Yeah.
But I was at something one time and a kid stepped on a sparkler. And so I'm kind of a freak about wearing shoes always when we're doing fireworks.
Oh, yes. You never know. And just really letting adults handle those things and be around with kids and not walk away. Even if you see them over the plane and they're running around trying to be in their vicinity. Lots of times I see parents sitting down or sitting back while the kids are out, maybe in our cul-de-sac running around with the fireworks or doing things. And it's really important that you're involved, that you're there and you're present the entire time.
Right. And I imagine, when kids get to the age where they're thinking they're old enough to light little things off, that's probably another good thing to pre-teach is who can light what off and when and why, and having that expectation set before so you don't have to have that discussion during.
Definitely. My neighbors were kind enough to say that they were going to be practicing setting some fireworks off so the kids would understand and where the zones are because we are so closely together, and how to protect the animals in our area so they wouldn't kill a lot of birds in the trees during that time. But definitely talking about and practicing, not just telling kids. Kids don't learn by us telling them, but by actually practicing. Even if you don't light it on fire, you can say, okay, this is where it's going to be. Let's go there. Let's pretend we're going to put it right there. Now, what do you do? Back up, like that, and that kind of thing. Do you take the little sparkler and put it in somebody's face? No, we don't do that, right? Because if you do that, you're going to end up on that bench over there and timed out, and you won't be able to participate in the fun thing. So these are the rules. Tell it to someone else. And when kids can teach other kids, then they really do understand the rules. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about I know what I'm supposed to be doing because I tell someone else what they're supposed to be doing.
So now how do you handle it when the 10-year-old across the street is allowed to light off fireworks, but your 10-year-old you don't feel is allowed to light off fireworks?
Well, it's nice when neighbors can agree and participate together because we're all out there in the same area and it's going on at the same time. And if you can't talk to your neighbors, great to talk to them that you guys can collaborate. But I tell my kids all the time, I'm not that child's parent. What that child is doing is up to their parent. I'm in charge of you. I'm all about your safety and about the fun you're having. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to eat. We're going to light our fireworks. We're going to visit with our friends and family. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So I really don't take the report about somebody else's children. That is not really what I'm in charge of.
Yeah, we've had that issue. We've had kids come over and you know, if you light off any fireworks, then the neighborhood comes out and all the kids come over, and that's always our rule is nobody but the kids whose parents are here and allow it are allowed to light off.
That's a wonderful one to have the parents there. Sometimes people let their kids come, but they won't come. Yeah. And if something happened to their kid, then they would totally be unhappy with that. So definitely, if kids come and you can't find a parent or whatever, we have to go over the rules. These are the rules. If you don't obey them, see that bench over there, you end up over there. You're going to need to go home, one or the other. So if the kids are willing, usually they are willing to go along with the rules when you have some.
Right. You know, it'd be kind of fun. I just thought of this to write out in chalk on your driveway. These are the rules, fireworks rules at this house. And,
no
so anybody who comes over understands what those are. What about sleep? I know the 4th of July is not until next week, but you know, we've had a lot of neighborhood fireworks going on in our area. So how do you make sure that kids are getting a decent amount of sleep? Because I know, you know, especially then when you get to the actual day, if they haven't had good sleep, then behaviors are going to be an issue. So
exactly, and accidents can happen when we're not ourselves getting enough sleep in our kids. Definitely, if you can, talk to your neighbors about when fireworks should be lit and when should it stop, so that everybody can get some sleep. I mean, I think when we're just respectful to each other and we communicate, I think things go better. If you just are too afraid and you don't say anything, then you'll be angry at your neighbors, and you know that's not good modeling. At the same time, those neighbors need to model respectful behavior as far as being a good neighbor to their own children. But I would say you can't control everybody, so you have to kind of work around it, whether that be taking naps during the day so that kids can get some rest would be good, creating some white noise in the room, or, you know, headphones or whatever the case may be, a fan going that kind of blocks out some of the noise, and just kind of being prepared yourself, so get some sleep yourself, because your kids might wake up to a large bang, and then you'll have to kind of soothe them back to sleep.
Right. That's good. Yeah, it's a tough time to be awake during the day when you're up to that all night. But I think it's important for parents just to be aware even that if you're not sleeping well, your kids probably aren't sleeping well either.
Yeah.
All right, let's see a couple more questions. So this one we got from Facebook. While it's not bad behavior, my 2-year-old was crying and scared at a fireworks show last week. So I'd love to know how to handle that situation since we have more shows to attend.
Yeah, talking about it beforehand and what's frightening them. Again, the headphones might be a good time when we know that the noises are going to go off. When it does happen, not overreacting, quickly taking the child away, soothing them, talking about how to respond the next time that occurs, giving them some strategies to calm themselves, to self-soothe themselves would be good as well. And just, again, that preventive teaching, because when kids feel safe and prepared, they're less likely to be caught off guard and get too anxious. And even if they do, they know what to do about it.
Right. Right. Giving them kind of an exit strategy of
this is how we go.
If you get overwhelmed.
You can tug on and then we're going to go quickly and go do something else. And tag team also, that you don't miss all the fun because you're always over soothing your child. That if you have another parent or a friend that can help you out, but you guys kind of take turns doing that.
What about giving them other activities to do? So
it would be really good to have a little baggie of things that can redirect the child and get them involved in something. This is especially important because travel in cars it's going up this year than recent years. So people are traveling instead of taking those planes for a longer distance. So, number one, make sure your car is ready to be on the road for a long distance. Make sure that the child's car seat is not cracked or the straps are not broken and that child still fits in that car seat. You're going to be gone for a long time, and the rules in other states might be very strict. Definitely have things to do. If you're going to go on the 4th of July, go visit the family, or go somewhere else, go on a vacation, definitely make sure you have some little snacks, some water. You never know what incidents or accidents might happen that cause you to have to be caught on a highway or on a road for a long period of time. And to keep the kids busy, some games. And I have kids interact. Sometimes you'll take kids on events like the 4th of July, and they'll want to sit and just kind of, I don't really want to be here. And I say, well, if you want to get on that technology, you have to participate. And before you know it, they're having fun.
Yeah.
They've forgotten all about why they need to
Why they're trying to interact.
Yeah. So, and they can earn some time to be on their technology to talk to their friends or play with their iPad or whatever the case may be.
That's great. Good travel tips. All right. So here's another Facebook question. I think that everyone can relate to older kids at parades. So annoying. Says this mom, grabbing candy away from the little ones and being mean to other kids. I certainly have experienced that in the past. And you'll have the big kids run over and scoop up all the candy, and you know, your little 2-year-old at their first parade doesn't get anything. So how do you address that? First off, if your kids are older, so what are the conversations that you have to have before it?
Again, being preventive teaching and giving them responsibility versus waiting for them to do it wrong. Say, you're in charge of, here's your little sister, you're going to spend some time to earn that technology time or that free time away that you get to spend without all of us, so you can run around and do what you want. And showing consideration, because when kids learn to show consideration, they're going to do it more and have less of those incidents where they are mean or naughty toward other people. When you see them doing behavior, because they're kids, they're teenagers, just respond to that and then, wait, come over here. You did this, and let them make restitution for their behavior by doing something nice. Now you need to do 3 considered things for your little sister or for that little boy you just took the popcorn away from, or whatever the case may be. Kids know that someone's going to call them on their behavior. They knock it off.
I love the idea of giving them a responsibility of, even, if they don't have younger siblings, saying, find a little kid around here and you be the one that helps them get a bunch of candy. It's a great idea. What about if it's not your child and you see another kid doing it? Is it okay to say something? And what should you say?
It's how you say it. I asked a little kid to come over, give him a fist bump. Hey, what's going on? And then I said, I noticed that you took a lot of the popcorn, or you took that candy out of so-and-so's hand. I'd like for you to go back over there and give that back to him. I'll go with you. Okay. And I just go with the kid. And most kids are like, oh, this adult is paying attention. When they think we're not paying attention, when they think we're not going to respond to them, they'll do behaviors because we've set these boundaries, or we didn't set boundaries.
Right.
And so usually kids will respond to boundaries when you set them. So I usually just am very polite, very pleasant. And when the kid does behavior correctly, I give them big ups. I tell their parents how wonderful they are. And maybe I do something nice for them. And then they go, well, that was a nice experience and wasn't this terrible, horrible thing.
Right. That's a great idea too. I love the idea of, after you correct that kid, walking over to their parent, because I could see that being an issue. The parents seeing you correcting their child and getting upset, unfortunately. But if you're walking over and then correct and telling the parents what a great job they did,
with their kid,
wonderful.
There we go. And the kid is like, and the parents like, well, that was fine, no problem, thanks so much.
That's a great idea. All right, so we have a couple more that have come in.
Okay.
I think my kids are too young to light fireworks, but my husband can't wait to get them involved because he loves the holiday. This causes confusion for the kids. Any tips on how we can compromise?
Yeah, compromise is the key thing that both sides do so. So whether it's the kids kind of help prepare the different fireworks we're going to set and when they go off and where they're going to be with dad, and he's the one that lights it, afterwards, and they help with, rating the firework. We give it a 1, or give it a 10, they're involved, but they're not actually going to light that firework.
Right. That's a great idea. I love the idea of the rating. Of like a
little judges.
Like a diving little, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've struggled with little kids is other ways to get them involved, and we'll do bubbles and sidewalk chalk and things like that. But I just, and a lot of times we'll let them pick out what's next. But I love the ideas of having little pre-made numbers that the kids can hold up. That's wonderful. Yeah, that might be great for a kid who's afraid of fireworks. To kind of get them distracted and onto something else so they can be involved. All right, when I tell my child no to lighting fireworks, I have a temper tantrum on my hands. Any tips for how to avoid this, and especially in front of the in-laws?
Well, it doesn't really matter where kids have temper tantrums. They're going to have them any place at any time. It's our response to that temper tantrum that's going to be the key element there. Okay. One thing I tell parents, whether you're at your home or you're out in public, is to take care of yourself first. I want you to be very selfish and calm yourself down.
That's a great tip.
Take a deep breath. Who saw that out? It only takes a couple of minutes. And then respond to this child by quickly getting them out of the area, because attention is a reward that increases behavior. Like grandma and everybody are looking, what's wrong, little Johnny, or whatever. You need to remove that child from that attention and get them someplace that they can do their self-soothing exercise that you taught them ahead of time, and that you give them time to calm down. Then we're going to go back to the same situation, and they're going to need to address that. Not like I get away with this temper tantrum and I get my way.
Right.
So we're going to go back out. When I tell you no, you need to use your special letters, O and K. Let's try that right now. Okay? No, what you going to say? Okay. That's Rocky. Yeah. We practice that a couple of times. We get back out there in front of grandma and grandpa, and I go, all right, no. What are you going to say? Okay. And everybody claps, and it's wonderful. We put our signs up, you get a 10 because of your good behavior.
That's great. I love the taking care of yourself first. That's wonderful. Yeah. Because it's so true. If you escalate it, it just makes it worse. All right. Well, I think that is all that we've got. So hopefully we covered everything. And thanks for being with us, Bridget. And we'll come up with something fun to talk about next month.
Well, I hope you have a fun 4th of July.
You too. Okay. And everybody else out there, have a great 4th of July.
Bye.